Welcome to Caricomp Insider, where high-tech facial recognition meets real-world intelligence.
A million children in Brazil had their faces scanned every single day, just to take attendance. The system stored those faces for as long as a kid stayed enrolled. That's up to 14 years, for a problem you could solve with a paper roll call. If you're a parent, this one lands close to home. Your child can change their password, they can change their phone number. They can't change their face. In the Brazilian state of Paraná, more than 1,700 public schools started scanning students back in 2023. The pitch was simple: save teachers a few minutes at the start of class. Then Brazil's data protection regulator stepped in and ordered them to stop. So the question worth sitting with is this: when does a small convenience become a permanent risk? Start with what the regulator actually said. According to Brazil's data authority, convenience based on practicality is not enough to justify collecting a child's biometric data. That's a striking line. Souls argued the software saved time. The regulator called it unnecessary and disproportionate. They pointed out something obvious. Plenty of less invasive options exist, even if it means an old-fashioned roll call. For any parent, that's the reassuring part. Someone in power finally said the easy shortcut wasn't worth your kid's face. Now the retention problem. Regulators flagged that a student's face data could sit in the system for the equivalent of 14 years, basically their entire school career. And here's why that matters. If that database gets hacked or leaked, there's no reset button. You can issue a new credit card. You cannot issue a new face. A breach today could follow that child for the rest of their life. Then there's consent. The regulator said school children can't freely agree to being watched this way. They described the relationship between the school and the student as one of considerable imbalance. Think about it. Can a 7-year-old really say no to the camera at the classroom door? The regulator called attendance monitoring a unilateral control measure. One side decides, the other side has no real choice. And here's the part that undercuts the whole pitch. Teachers reported that the software often took longer than doing attendance by hand. It also made identification mistakes regularly, so the time-saving machine wasn't saving time. One more detail worth knowing. This same technology was built in Europe, but courts and regulators across the European Union blocked comparable systems in their own schools under privacy law. They ruled children can't meaningfully consent to face surveillance in the classroom. So the tech that Europe rejected at home got exported and switched on abroad. And that's the twist most people miss. This was never really a privacy debate. If a system works worse than a paper list and still gets rolled out to a million kids, you don't need a new law to stop it. You just need someone to ask whether it works at all. So here's the whole thing. In plain terms, Brazil scanned 1 million kids' faces daily just for roll call and planned to keep those faces for years. The regulator said no. Too invasive, too risky, and slower than a teacher with a clipboard. If your child's school ever pitches face-based attendance, you now know exactly what to ask. Where does the data go? Who can see it? How long is it kept? And is there a version that doesn't use my kid's face at all? The full story's in the description if you want the deep dive.
Now you know something most people in this industry don't. Use it. And when you're ready to put it to work, Caracomp.com. We'll see you tomorrow.